Hi, this is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald. Welcome to my Star Atlas Week in Review podcast. This is podcast number 156. Any articles or videos mentioned can be found on my website at intergalacticherald.com. Just look for a weekly recap newsletter 204. So, quick summary of things that happened this past week in Star Atlas. Pretty much the Atlas Brew, which is, again, a Star Atlas community event, usually on Wednesdays, at least Wednesdays my time zone. And, they went over Zinc, C4, and Holosim. So before I get to that, just a couple things in Star Atlas that I'm working on. First is my website, intergalacticherald.com. It's a great Star Atlas resource website, including guides, directories, recaps, and a Discord news feed. Yeah, newsfeed. Do have a Star Atlas merch store at intergalacticgear.com. Also trying to get together other Star Atlas gamers. If you're interested in that, please check out intergalacticcoalition.com. So again, this past week, the main kind of updates from Star Atlas was the Atlas Brew, which is their community event. They talked about three different topics. First was kind of information about the Zinc season. I can't remember, season chapter. They use a lot of different words. Anyways, what's going on with Zinc? And again, Zinc is their independent blockchain to run Star Atlas on. So they noted that there was some linking of wallets, there were some bugs, and so they've tried to fix those so you should be able to link your wallets better. Also, there was some changes to how the ZXP rewards were being done. I guess they said in Sage, just moving ships was getting you points, but I guess a higher amount than things like mining or crafting. So they said they did some changes there related to rewards. So I assume those were just immediately AI, but I'm not sure now that I think about it. But anyways, so definitely continue to refine the reward system for Zinc. Then they did mention some things on the upcoming update to Sage, which has been codenamed C4, getting ready for the public test release. They did mention in their development environment that all the 4 Cs are now fully working and they're ready to move that into their test net. And one thing they're adding, and they mentioned this a few brews back, they said that in Holosim there was a chat feature and they are going to be able to move that chat feature forward into Sage/C4. So that's kind of cool. And they said everything is working internally, and that was a big milestone because I guess they had everything working internally. So reading between the lines, it sounds like, again, there's sort of a developer system, and then they're going to move it to their test net. And then once that works, then they'll move it out to the public test net, which is, again, this thing called PTR. So that's updates they gave on that. But most of the Atlas Brew was about Holosim. They gave an official announcement date for the chapter, let's see, season 1, chapter 2, trying to get their nomenclature down. Actually, if they just called it 1.2, that would be easier to remember. Well, it doesn't matter. Actually, I kind of like that. 1.2, season 1, chapter 2. Yeah, I did, whatever. Anyways, coming out February 19th, so hopefully within a week. So they went through a lot of different updates that are coming to the game. So if you want the entire rundown, please do check out Star Atlas TV's YouTube channel, and you can get the full recording. Or, though I haven't listened to it yet, you can check out, again, you already got it on the podcast, so you've already listened to it, but I haven't, the AI summary that I did, or I shouldn't say I did, AI did it, I don't know what it did. But you can check that out for 3 or 4 minute updates there. So here are just some of the updates that caught my ear when I was listening to it tonight. So one, they did mention they're changing lots of the different game mechanisms. Apparently they're going to stop the ability to withdraw items, and this, I think, is a response. Again, I didn't play the first one, so that people were basically creating multiple accounts and then withdrawing things and combining them. So it sounds like what you earn on your wallet, even though that's all kind of hidden, is just all you have. They did mention they will have the battle pass, and if I heard it correctly, and I don't, maybe it just didn't exist before, but that battle pass is the same thing if you do one of the purchase multi-pass, I can't remember, there's so many words, in Zinc. So I was like, oh, cool, that makes sense. They should be the same. So they also mentioned there'll be automation, maybe more, maybe less, I'm not sure, but what they were talking about is, quote, abstraction from the boring stuff. So, okay, that's cool. They also noted again that the safe zone you can play in and not get combat, and you can actually mine all the resources, but they will be at lower rates. So it definitely encourages you to go out to the medium risk zone. And they noted that it will be a 5-week chapter and then a postseason. So that's kind of cool. And then they kind of gave a bigger roadmap where season 1 is going to be related more to Sage, but season 2 is going to be related to C4. So again, chapters and seasons, and so seasons are there with multiple chapters. And they did mention that going forward, that should be much easier to do additional chapters and things like that. So yeah, so that was pretty much the extent of all the updates at the Atlas Brew. And again, if you want to listen to the whole thing, Star Atlas TV's YouTube channel, or the summary that you already listened to it if you're subscribed to my podcast. So next section I'll just go over is kind of my thinking on the state of Star Atlas. So yeah, it definitely seems like progress is being made, especially now that we actually have a date for the HoloSim launch of the February 19th. So that's cool. Performance, they got to nail it after last time. But they seem very confident. So give them the benefit of the doubt that they got that worked out. So they kind of alluded to a marketing campaign, and I was listening to the recording, so I don't know if they were posting things at the same time in chat or something, but hopefully between now and next week they do some promotions, because again, they did actually a pretty decent one. And actually, now I think about it, didn't they announce this was going to have that what was it, Tether? I can't remember. They did mention something, because the first one had a Soulfire wallet, I believe, and I think, yeah, so hopefully maybe the two of those are there will be some marketing on with a tie-in with a different crypto product. So again, I guess we'll see in the week ahead. But overall, I really think, and kind of glad that HoloSim's got a date coming back, because I do really think it is a perfect entry port to Star Atlas. 1, it's free to play. 2, is browser based. So, and the crypto is hidden behind it. So, but the game mechanics, it may be a little, way ahead of Sage. Maybe, similar to C4 when it comes out. But yeah, it definitely feels like, this is the entry point, because when somebody comes into the Discord saying, hey, go play Sage, I mean, sorry, it's just not going to happen. But this one, and they have the tutorial in it, they said. So yeah, I'm really thinking this is the great entry point. So hopefully, again, there can always be a HoloSim chapter running at all times. Actually, I just realized the chapter system now actually makes a lot of sense, because let's say you find out about it and it's halfway through a chapter. Well, it's fine. If it's 5 weeks, you can wait a couple more weeks, play around, and then be able to hit the ground running at the next chapter. So yeah, actually that's really a great thing that it's not, what's the word, persistent, which is good. I mean, it's not meant to be. It's just come in, have fun, and then go move over to the bigger product, or the permanent product. Let's see what else. Yeah. So that's HoloSim. C4, yeah, that also does feel like it's developing well. Again, I appreciate Jim giving updates, because it's sort of his projects, it sounds like. So, I think we're getting more regular updates from the development standpoint. So yeah, everything feels like it's developing well with the different test phases. Of course, they wouldn't set a date, but again, if there's still literally 2 internal tests, or maybe 1, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so it is thing. And yeah, it totally makes sense. They have to test this internally. And of course, I think we want them to test it internally, because their public test is still much more, needs to be more polished. I mean, because you don't want to have any just obvious stuff before you get to that. You really want it to be open and robust enough to really find the things that matter. So, and then kind of snuck in there, while I was listening to us, kind of checking the Discord, and another patch notes for the UE5 version came out, and it kind of dawned on me, those have kind of been flying under the radar. They've been patching that a lot, and in the past, those usually were the ones, like last year, they wanted to do them like once a month, but it sure feels like it's every few weeks. So, and again, just not playing that, so I'm not really reading the patch notes, but it actually feels like a much more frequent cadence. So kind of wish there was a little more fanfare for that too. But again, that's fine. Maybe, again, they've de-emphasized that a little bit as not a finished product. But yeah, we'll see. So anyways, yeah, that was kind of my thoughts on kind of the state of Star Atlas, and then I'll just wrap up kind of how I'm playing. So again, my Sage goal is trying to craft a Mamba X. So I've been trying to mine and move back all the resources. Still mining Luminite. That just happens to be the next resource on my list. I've got the transport fleet going to the same starbase, so it's bringing back silica, yeah, since I got enough of those. And then decided to actually take some food out to the starbase because it doesn't have any food, so I thought I could maybe try to put that in the local market. However, I have a bad feeling that there just aren't enough players around to really use the local markets. Maybe there's certain ones that make sense, but kind of just random ones because there was no food when I got there, so that's why I had to bring my own food. So, but we'll see. And so that's it. Just kind of going through the repetition of mining and transporting, and then once those two are done, I'll see what the next one is. I better be careful. I can't remember where I saw that. But anyways, there is, it was announced at the last economic forum that they are going to reduce the recipe. So I'm going to check out, see if that's live. Actually, now I think about it, they're supposed to have an announcement, so maybe it's not live. But anyways, I'm going to check it over this weekend and see, because maybe I have too much resources for some of them now, but that's okay. Yeah, anyway, so that's it. That's the weekend Star Atlas. So again, anybody wants to be on the podcast, totally open to guests. Yeah, it could be community members, builders, content creators, of course, anybody on the team that wants to talk about kind of beginner topics. Love to have you on. Do check out my website, Intergalactic Herald, while you're there for Star Atlas guides, directories, recaps, and my Discord newsfeed. Want a Star Atlas mug? Check out intergalacticgear.com, shipping in the United States, I hope. I haven't checked my store in a while. And then definitely love to get any Star Atlas gamers who aren't interested in joining guilds but nevertheless want to hang out. Check out intergalacticcoalition.com. And that is a wrap for this week in Star Atlas. So my name is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald. Have a great week ahead.